Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Charlie's Reviews. This episode is actually going to be divided into two parts. The second part will actually come in later this week, hopefully. Um, the reason being is that last week my shop, the small shop I go to, one of the two shops that I go to, which is this one's a smaller one, didn't get all of their books last week, and so I only got like half my pool for this week. Um, and it was really strange because they did get some of their books, but they didn't get all of them. And I actually went on Monday to see if they had gotten them, and it turns out that they hadn't got their books yet. So I suppose they would have arrived later on Monday. So instead of going on Tuesday, hoping to see if the books were there, uh, I'm going to get them with the rest of the new stuff this week, hoping that there aren't any delays uh, this week. So if everything goes to schedule, not delays or anything, part two will actually go up on Friday. I'm hoping to get that done on Friday, and then I will do the episode, which I think it's episode 6. That would be for the new books coming out this week. And I actually doing decided to do it as a two-part video because I didn't really want to delay, you know, making videos. I didn't want to do a 2 week reviewing. Uh, I didn't want to review 2 weeks worth of books either in one video. That would have been way too long. So I'll try to keep it short with uh, uh, just splitting up last week's books into a two-part video, and then just doing the normal thing with the new books. So anyways, let's get started with what I did get. And for this episode, I will start with the books that I will start. I will review the books as I read them on the Friday, and I got my books. So first up is Rachel Rising number 27. I'm very glad that I decided to jump on the bandwagon on the jump on this book. I've been enjoying it uh, as much as I can enjoy it because I am missing some of the earlier issues, but you know basically with I believe it was issue 25, I think, where a new story arc started. So, this issue picks up on some of what was laid out in the in that issue. Um, as always, it's a very hard book for me to review because it's not as easy to sort of pick apart the book, in its separate parts, the writing and art. I mean, they're both really meshed together so well. Uh, but no, I'm enjoying it. Terry Moore is actually starting to move the plot, sort of perhaps the characters will be dealing with some kind of serial killer. Um, I really can't understand why this book is seen as a horror book. It does have some elements of that, but it also feels like a mystery story, mystery type story, crime detective, sort of the stuff that I love, discovering crimes, um, the sort of thing. So yeah, I've been enjoying this book, and I always look forward to it when it comes out. Then I will do a two for one this month with the chapters 3 and 4 of the Super Doom story from the Doom story crossover, Superman Doom crossover, and really hard to say anything good about this because one of these annual Superman, one of annual number 1, or an Action Comics number annual number 3. Sorry, uh, sorry. Um, you know, they go together, but one of them seems a little bit. It should One of them should not exist because first, you can read each book individually and you don't miss much. Uh, if you're reading both of them, you have chapter 3 here and chapter 4, but you can read chapter 4 and then this issue, and it doesn't make any difference because it's essentially the same story. Uh, it's you could pretty much cram any element from any of these issues into one of them, and it really makes the other one non-existent. uh, I mean, it takes I mean, if something's called chapter 4, it should progress the plot, but like I said, you end up reading this issue chapter 3, you would expect, with something called chapter 4 to move the story ahead, but it doesn't. It just adds elements to the story in this book. Basically, the story is this. uh you know it continues where chapter 2 left off. You have Lana Lang and still in space. Super Doom is fighting Cyborg Superman. Lana discovers that there's some pattern going on in the machines that Brainiac sent, and that there's a way to stop it, which Wonder Woman tells Batman, and Wonder Woman calls all the heroes to stop the destroy the machines and disrupt the signal that it's sending through Smallville and Metropolis. Super Doom comes to Earth. Batman is trying to find a way to get rid of the kryptonite that is trapped in the Earth's atmosphere, which it does successfully. Then just a bunch of Super Doom fighting until he encounters Wonder Woman, and then just as that battle is going on, Batman is successful in removing the kryptonite from the atmosphere and bringing back Superman to normal. And that's the plot. And if you ask me where that story falls, if you tell me it's in this issue or in this issue, it's a combination of both stories in this book. I mean, really, they just, I mean, this sort of extends um, to a degree some stuff that one was mentioned here in passing, but if you take away a few fights that show up here and here, you could have a really good, full annual, and then this issue would move the story on. But no, the story moves on ahead in action in the regular issue of Action Comics. But it's disappointing that you need essentially two annuals to essentially tell the same story, but one adds a few little things, few more details that aren't shown in the other issue. Um, so I mean, it's an interesting story, but you could have. I mean, in fact, both issues end with the very same last page, which is uh, the Brainiac mothership coming through a Stargate that was being built, while the stuff that was going on Earth was pretty much a distraction uh, to distract the heroes and not notice what was going on in space. But interesting story. It's just that you can read any of these you know by itself, and you wouldn't miss anything if you can read the other issue. Um, and again, even if this adds stuff to this issue, it's not really well coordinated as well. Uh, there's a scene in here where Super Tumen meets the Martian Manhunter, and John helps him gain some control of Doomsday. So we get for a brief moment we get Superman back, but it's never really mentioned here. Uh, so it could have happened between panels, and you get the detail here, but there's no real mention of it because here in this issue you have a lot of the sort of mental battle between Superman and Doomsday, so there's no reference to what John Johns did here. And then here the Ghost Soldier and Baka, the little creature that lives in the under in this nether world realm, from the previous from the initial story arc by Greg Pak, show up, and they are shown to be in the Wonder Woman Super Doom battle, but they don't show up here at all. So you know you have to reference things, even the smallest things, because you know things seem to be like coming out randomly, and depending on who's writing, they will add stuff from their run to the book, and even if it's a crossover, so you have to be very consistent with it, and there isn't that consistency. They're just sort of adding to the story, yeah, as a whip. I've been saying this, they're falling into this really weird trap where they want to make each issue stand on its own, um, but in doing that, in standing on its own and sort of following through the each series storyline, you end up messing up the book quite a lot, the story quite a lot, just makes it inconsistent. Another thing here, which I forgot to mention, was that this issue also focuses a bit on Lois, as she's, we see her literally trapped in her own mind by Brainiac. And so it's really Brainiac who's using Lois's body to do all these horrible, horrible things in helping in helping Brainiac set the planet for his return. So this was a really so read for me so far. This has been the best book I've read, and I'm just getting a little more disappointed with each issue of Doom that the crossover might not be as great as they make it sound to be. That it's wow, what a great story. It's you know I think they're all kidding ourselves. Publicity hype. It it's not it's not it's not the greatest or the best planned crossover I've read at all. Like I said, that the stories don't flow smoothly, within the larger range. And having two animals telling us the same story and actually being nailed parts 3 and 4, I think action should have been like part 3.2, and it should have been 3.1, because like I said, it's actually the same stuff. So I'm just repeating myself. So I'll end the video now, and remember to check out um, part 2 later in the week. um, if, like I said, if there aren't any delays, I'll be doing part 2 on Friday, and the next full episode, the normal episode, I believe will be episode 6. That should I'll try to do it on the weekend, but probably I'll do it on Monday. So I won't be signing off until, no, I will not give you my sign off until part 2 comes out. So I'll just see you until next time.